And that's exactly, you've just made the point for me, that while we all advocate for continuity, the continuity and the time has to be earned. And at the moment, Otto Addo is not doing enough to justify that continuity is deserved. And for me, I think the only thing that is important is to show a certain level of consistency. And Musbao is right. You cannot beat Mali away and then come and lose to Niger in Morocco, or go and draw against Niger in Morocco, lose at home against Angola. It cannot be happening. While we accept that maybe the team is going through a certain transition, we also have to accept that this is a quality enough team. It is not possible that Sudan would meet Niger and beat them. Which players in the Sudan national team do you know? In today's starting lineup for the Black Stars, they had 5 players who are starters at English Premier League teams. How are they not good enough to beat Sudan? We have Otto Addo, since he's been back, he's played 6 matches. This team has conceded 10 goals. In his first stint, in 12 games, they conceded 15. Why is he not fixing the defensive issues in this team? They have been glaring. The team has a very big habit of conceding very late goals. In the game against Nigeria scored an 84th minute goal. Then we played Uganda. Or it was Uganda before Nigeria. Then Uganda, they conceded an 82nd minute goal. When we played against Central African Republic, we conceded a 93rd minute goal. Against Angola, we conceded a 93rd minute goal. Today, against Niger, we conceded an 84th minute goal. How is that possible? How does that keep happening?
Lack of concentration in the final minutes of the game, isn't it possible?
Or maybe structural changes that he makes late in the game. That tends to affect the result because it's a pattern. It's clearly established, and yet he's not fixing the problem. That's his job. Then you look at the other people he has supporting him. Why aren't other people seeing this? So for me, I think there is no justification whatsoever. There's no excuse whatsoever for today's result. Absolutely no excuse. The coaching was bad. The performance, the application, the commitment levels from the players itself was bad. Granted, we have so many other issues in our football. And we've all explained that a lot of the issues stem from maybe our youth football. We haven't had a proper transition of any youth players to the national team in a long time. The same thing can be said about our local league. There's no contribution of our league to our national teams. So all of that goes to affect commitment at a certain level. And this is how it works. Because the players that are playing at the national team now, what sense of duty do they have to the national cause? Because the sense of duty is inculcated at youth level.
Yeah.
Because then they owe the country a certain allegiance, because the country contributed in a certain way, to a certain extent, to their careers. But the current squad of players that we have, how many of them can you genuinely say the country contributed to their careers?
And this is quite an interesting point you are making, Fent. Go back to New Zealand 99. Then we can talk about Argentina 2001. Then we go to the 2009 Under-20 World Cup, which was staged in Africa, Egypt. You realize that a core of the national team that brought at a certain level of success had gone through our youth ranks. Michael Essien and co. And Suleiman and co. Yes.
And not just going through the youth ranks. Our youth ranks actually give them the platforms to launch their careers. Now, with the current players, how many of them can you say the national team is the reason they are where they are? In today's lineup, the same as the lineup in previous game, only 2 players have played for the youth teams. And even those 2 players are academy products who would have done well either way, even without the national team. And I'm talking Kudus Mohammed and Atizigi Finito. All of the other players that played, none of them played for any of our youth national teams. So the country, in a way, did not contribute anything to these players' careers. So I ask you the question, where will their loyalty lie first?
And then Fatah Issahaku
to the national team?
Fatah Issahaku as well was part of the setup.
Fatah Issahaku played for the Black Stars. Okay, played for the under-20. Yes. at the under-20 AFCON. They won the AFCON.
Yeah.
So there is him, there is Kudus, and then there's Atizigi. That is 3 out of 11. It's unacceptable. In the past, you would have had maybe 3 players who have not represented Ghana at youth level in the national team. Every other member of the team would have played for the national team at a certain level. So they owe the country a certain level of duty, a certain level of commitment, a certain level of loyalty. At the moment, with the current squad we have, listen, and I don't doubt their motivation that when they play for the national team, they want to win. No professional footballer goes out there, wears the national team jersey, and wants to lose. But there is a certain consciousness that they move with, and in that consciousness, their commitment first and foremost is to their careers before anything else. So when it's time to put that crucial leg in, that crucial tackle in, that could potentially be dangerous to their careers or be debilitating to any of their careers, they're not going to do it. So those issues exist. However, having said that, we still have a good enough quality in this team to be beating teams like Niger away from home and Angola at home. And I'll tell you what, when the fixture list came out, there were only 2 fixtures that you could put your finger on and say, these are 2 matches that Ghana would get 3 points from. And that is the Niger game away and our home game. Because there's nobody out there, not you, not me, not Daniel, who was confident that Ghana would go and beat Sudan in Sudan, or Ghana would go and beat Angola in Angola. So now we didn't win against Niger. We didn't win at home. We're not beating Sudan away or beating Angola away. So we are in a very precarious situation.
We never thought we could beat Mali, but we've beaten them. I just wanted, due to time, I just wanted to wrap up the conversation.
Well, the thing is, we have history of beating Mali. We don't have history of beating Sudan in Sudan.
I recall prior to the 2010 AFCON, when we went there to Bamako, Matthew Amwa and then Kojo Asamoah scored. I think that was Kojo Asamoah.
That's what I said. I said we have history of beating Mali.
So
We don't
what
have
next?
the same history at beating Angola away in Angola.
So how do Ghana get their AFCON 2025 qualification back on track?
Win the remaining 4 matches. They made the job difficult for themselves, but they have to deliver. If there's anything I can point to, I can say, well, at least if for nothing at all, Otto has shown that he can get the difficult results like he did against Mali when no one expects it. We don't expect him to get the results against Sudan, but he should get it. That's the only way, because if Otto Addo doesn't qualify this team for the AFCON, he has to go. It's the least. Because while you're
I'm not too sure he'll be going.
There are certain guarantees that have to be made in order for us to see that you're on the right path. Not making the AFCON simply means he's not on the right path.
Okay.